So every job ad you check and every job description says we want someone with 2 to 3 years experience. And here you are thinking, how do I even get the experience if nobody will give me the job in the first place, right? In this video, I'm going to be showing you practical tips for any and everybody on how to get a job, even if you think you have zero experience. So the first step I would advise on how to get a job with zero experience, you need to redefine what experience means to you. My common mantra is work experience doesn't have to be paid experience. I made a video where spoke about how to write a CV even if you have zero experience. A lot of people have given me good comments about it. I'll link it on the screen for you to watch after this video. But let's get back to it. Have you led a community project before? Have you volunteered? Do you currently lead a team, whether in school, in church, in your mosque, wherever it is? Do you know all of these things can serve as experience in your CV that you then go ahead to use to get a job, right? So the first step is you need to redefine what the experience is to you. So the first step is actually sit down, pause the video here and think, what exactly have I done that makes me think I can do well in this job? Imagine applying for a data analyst role. You need to think, what exactly have I done that makes me think I can do well in data analysis? Okay, do you have experience with Excel? Or do you even teach other people data analysis, but you've not got a certificate around it? What exactly do you think? Are you the chief usher in your church and do some form of financial analysis, maybe budgeting and having an account, etc. like that? You need to first of all introspect and think of it. What exactly have I done that qualifies me or that makes me think, maybe not the employer, just think of it, that makes me think I'm qualified for this job, and then write it all down on the paper. What you have done is you have taken the first step to putting yourself in the best position to get a job. Now, the second thing you need to do is you need to learn targeted skills. At the end of the day, I'm not going to lie to you, people that have worked in large multinationals, organizations, corporations, they maybe stand a better chance of getting the job, especially if it's a senior role. But one thing you need to do to make sure that you're not necessarily closing the door, shutting the door on yourself is you need to learn targeted skills. Are you applying to a technical job that requires specific skills? Maybe what you want to do today is you start upskilling yourself in those particular skills. So think of it, you apply for a data analysis role, then maybe take an Excel course, learn Microsoft Excel, learn all the other things you need for data analysis. You apply for a tech role, then maybe learn how to code, Python, Java, etc. You need to learn the targeted skills that would, make you better positioned to get the job of your dream. Now, the third thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're building the relationships before you apply. Someone that I deeply respect said to me that if the first time you're knowing about the job is by the time the job application comes out on the internet, then you're probably too late, right? I was like, okay, let's see how that goes, because I don't think I'm always practical all the time, but that's not the point. It's saying that, especially knowing that, you don't have all the big names, all the big brands on your CV, one thing you want to actively do is network, and a good platform to do that is LinkedIn. So I know you go to LinkedIn and you can feel a little bit discouraged because people are always announcing promotions, announcing all these good things, but you know the reasons why you're going there. So first of all, you know the job you want to apply for. You know the job position you want to apply for. You are learning the skills you will need to get that job. The next thing you want to do is you want to network before you apply. Send connection requests to anybody that is working there. If you send to the CEO and to the group HR, you most likely not get accepted or get followed, right? So you just want to reach out to anybody that works there and you want to ask informed questions. You want to say, okay, so what exactly I'm applying for this role? Are there particular things? Trust me, if you send 10 connection requests, at least one person would answer you, right? One person will follow you back and then you can start a conversation with that person on LinkedIn. They basically want to network. And the thing is, you don't also want to spread your net wide. So it's not like I want to work in any company and so you're sending your network connection requests to food and beverage, to oil and gas, to tech, to business. What exactly do you want? Streamline your network search to be, I want to network with people in this particular field, people in this particular industry, and then spread out your net. Send out connection requests for those that actually respond to you in a very polite way. Explain your situation to them. I'm applying for this job, just wanted to know things they require, other things they need, etc. How best do you think I can position myself for this role? Given that I don't really have a lot of work experience, but I've done this. You never want to go with anyone saying, oh, I haven't done anything, help me. No. You go ahead to say, okay, I haven't done XYZ, but I have ABC, right? And then ask them in a very polite way to help you brainstorm, or both of you think of ways to position your ABC that will meet XYZ needs, right? So network before you apply. Now, the fourth thing you need to do is you need to start working on your CV and cover letter. A good CV and cover letter takes time to create, especially if you're just starting from scratch. It takes time and a lot of time to create. And so one thing I was saying in the first step is write out your skills, write out your experience, write out what you know, and then position it in your CV. Because I, volunteered in a company or interned in a company or even interned in my dad's company, put that on that work experience. I did some form of data analysis in church, put that on that volunteering experience. If you want the full shebang, the full details on how to create a good CV, I'll link it again. Please go and watch the video. Basically saying you need to create a first CV that other people can then help you look at, other people can help peruse. Because even if you do all of these things, the CV is the first interaction the HR has with you, right? And so you want to make sure you're even positioning your CV and cover letter right to make sure that you get called back for an interview, you get called back for a second interview, and then you land your job at the end of the day. So don't forget, you need to learn the right skills. You need to understand that work experience is not paid experience. You need to network. But then you actually need to start taking the step to write out your CV, your cover letter. Make sure your CV contains only relevant experience, right? And even if you think it's not relevant, try to frame it in a way that it sounds relevant. Cover letter, personalize it. If you want more details on how to write a cover letter with no experience, put it in the comment section. I will make that as my next video. So just make sure that you are ensuring your CV, your cover letter to the best of your ability showcases the skills you have, showcases your experiences, and then positions you as the best for the job. Now, the fifth and final thing I'm going to leave you with today is apply smart, not everywhere. What exactly do I mean? At the end of the day, you just need that one role, that one job to give you the first chance to start building your work experience. And so you also don't want to just make sure you're applying to different unrelated fields. Imagine applying for a tech role and then the same CV you're using it to apply to be a procurement officer, the same CV you're using it to apply to be a data analyst. At some point, like, it now becomes very generic and not tailored. So think of it based on your introspection at the beginning, when you wrote all your skills, when you listed it down. What roles does this skill position you for? If you don't know, a very good way to work in 2025 is the use of AI. Literally take a screenshot or a picture of what you've written down, put it on ChatGPT and say, GPT, I'm a recent graduate with no experience. What type of roles do these skills qualify me to apply for, and then apply to those roles, right? Now, it doesn't have to be one company, but just target or tailor your CV, your cover letter to these roles, and then use it to the best of your ability. When you now have this first job, you can then think of, okay, what else do I need to upskill? What else do I need to better myself? And then use that to build your career growth. But think of it, apply smart. Don't apply everywhere. Tailor your CV and cover letter, right? And then position it for those roles that you really want, and then go after it. In closing, zero experience doesn't mean zero value, doesn't mean zero worth, right? At the end of the day, you just need that one job, that one person to give you the first chance, and that's the beginning of success. That's the beginning of growth. Ask yourself, right, how exactly am I able to portray to an interviewer, to a job provider, that I can learn fast, I can be the best person in this job, even if I haven't done before? I have a very good attitude, I'm very open to learning. How exactly do I position myself? What exactly shows on my CV that I can be, this one person that can consume a lot of knowledge and bring value to the organization? And you want to make sure that you are constantly positioning yourself in those ways by learning the skills, by reaching out to the right people, by upskilling yourself, by watching videos like this, right? To show you that there is literally no one way to success, and the first step is making the first move, right? So trust me, if you follow all of these things, I believe you are better positioned to get a job, even if you have zero experience. Thank you so much, and see you next video.